The Relic Redux is currently running in No Man's Sky, and if you want a guide to get it done in 90 minutes or so, you're in the right place. This is a step-by-step guide for the Relic Expedition Redux, taking you through a near-perfect, efficient route to complete it as fast as possible. You don't need to bring anything with you from your main save, you don't need to prep in any way, just initialize, follow the steps, and you'll be done inside a few hours. Great for those with little time in the lead up to Christmas. Let's jump right in. After initializing, quickly open your exosuit inventory, whack your jetpack in the supercharged slot, and then put the jetpack upgrade touching it. Then move the translator modules out of the other supercharged slot and put your hazard protection in that. This is just to get a little extra efficiency with, well, everything. Your first real task is to scan fauna, flora, and minerals. This planet is abundant with fauna, both in density and type. So scan 6 plus fauna, 4 plus flora, and up to 6 minerals. The 6 fauna scans will complete Descendants. Claim the rewards from Descendants. Use the creature pellets to feed and gather several ground fauna. Your aim is to collect their dung samples, 10 in total. Doing that will complete the Nose in the Dirt. While doing that, also take a screenshot of the fauna, pull back enough to get 3 or more in frame. This will complete Snapshot in Time. Before leaving, adopt one of the fauna, completing Domestic Relatives. Now claim the rewards from Domestic Relatives. This is so you can have the life support gel in your inventory at all times. Now you have a few things to gather, they're on screen now, and while gathering those, be sure to also destroy 6 hazardous flora to complete uprooting, and find and open 3 buried cache for the milestone bite-sized, interacting with the drop from them before obtaining the next. Out of the things you need to gather, the carbon has 80 for fueling your personal refiner. It does not account for refueling your mining beam, as you should not need to. There is also no oxygen collected for life support fueling, as you got 5 life support gel from Domestic Relatives. The copper could be less if you wish to dismantle your rocket launcher, but it's really not needed. And the pyrite is because you'll cut it close on the single pulse engine tank. This expedition can push your inventory management to its limits, so if you really want to keep on top of things, collect exactly 350 carbon, throwing away any extra, collect exactly 90 oxygen, throwing away any extra, and do the same with the copper. Once you have completed uprooting, bite-sized, and collected all of those things, summon your ship to you. Jump in your ship and work through the dialogue to complete Echoes of the Past. With that done, claim the milestones Snapshot in Time, Bite-sized, and Echoes of the Past. Install the prepackaged sublight amplifier unit you just received and have it touching the pulse engine. If you do use the X-Class pulse engine upgrade you also just received, then make sure that is also touching the sublight amplifier. And lastly, if you have a supercharged slot on your ship available, then put your pulse engine in that, and then have the sublight amplifier unit touching that, and then the X-Class touching the sublight amplifier. Also install the personal refiner unit and fuel it with 80 carbon. Now refine 120 carbon into 60 condensed carbon. Once that's done, put the 270 copper to refine into chromatic metal. While that's doing that, craft 3 carbon nanotubes. Once the chromatic metal is done, take it out and install the fishing rig. Now take off and fly into space. Pulse to the space station. It's really close, so it'll be nice and quick. On the way, claim the rewards from uprooting. Enter the space station and go straight to the Galactic Trade Terminal and sell the delicate flora you just got. It won't be called delicate flora, but it will be a flora treasure. Sell the creature pellets you have left, you won't need them. Same with the Fecium. If you want to really save space, sell the barnacle ores and navigation data, but personally they're pretty useful items, so it would be good to keep them in your ship to take with you at the end, just for the sake of 2 slots. Then buy 275 ferrite dust. Remember to be exact if you want to really keep on your inventory management. Now go to the Starship Technology vendor and sell at least 2 of the tech in your exosuit or ship cargo slots. There'll be 3 to 4 depending if you use the Pulse Engine X-Class. Now buy a C-Class hyperdrive upgrade. Install that C-Class hyperdrive upgrade. Have the Atlantic drive and C-Class hyperdrive upgrade both touching the main hyperdrive core module. Now craft 3 antimatter, 3 antimatter housing, and 3 warp cells. Then refine 125 ferrite dust into pure ferrite. Fuel your hyperdrive, then leave the station and warp to Rendezvous 1. This is the Iwonsa-Ermoz IX system. Upon entering the system, turn toward the foggy planet Midlu V10 and pulse toward the coast. When exiting pulse, aim for the coast or an inland pool, not any small islands. Land and start fishing in the nearest available water until you have triggered wading in. I would advise deleting all of the fish and other crap you just fished up unless you fished a legendary and want to take it back with you. It will be beneficial to get the cargo space by deleting the fish. Jump into the water and scan any flora and minerals you see nearby. Do the same on land. This should complete Rockhound. Rendezvous 1 is one of the best planets in the expedition path for gathering ancient bones, so we're going to gather half or more of what we need here. Due to the random nature of how fossil beds are spread around, I'm going to list the activities you need to complete on this planet, as my former attempts to cover all eventualities have resulted in a potentially confusing run. First, you'll need to gather 55 ancient bones throughout this expedition for completing a number of milestones. While on this planet, you'll gather as many as you can carry in general in both your exosuit and ship, or until the archaeologist completes. Gathering at least half will be good. While at these fossil beds, you'll also want to fight some stone guardians to complete Do Not Disturb and stone ghosts. At the fossil bed, you'll see vigilant stones. Interacting with those will summon 1 to 2 stone guardians. They can be a little bit of a bitch when you have very low weaponry. The bolt caster is enough, but if you really want to boost, then leave this until you've done Exhibition Admission, in which case you can then take the reward from that, which is a scatter blaster pre-packaged. Install that, and then defeating 1 of the stone guardians will give you the rewards from Do Not Disturb, which is a shell greaser, which is the upgrade for the scatter blaster. Installing that with the scatter blaster will actually make it quite a bit easier for the last 2. My general advice would just be to keep moving and just focus fire. Once you have completed Do Not Disturb and Stone Ghosts, you will no longer need to summon any more of the Stone Guardians. If at any point when you are looking for fossil beds to dig up fossils, you see none around you, then whip out your signal booster, focus Exhibition Admission milestone, then interact with the signal booster and choose the top option that uses a surge battery. This will give you a marker for a ruin. Travel to that ruin, dig up the keys around it, which you can find easily with the analysis visor, then open the main chest in the middle, and make sure you actually get the treasure from it, because that will then complete Exhibition Admission. Then from that point you can search for more fossil beds, instead of just flying to a random place and hoping there's more. When you inevitably come to another point where you can't see any more fossil beds around you, or you have crazily completed the archaeologist or are just full on inventory, then draw your attention to the Dig 1, which is the first rendezvous. Focus that and head to the marker. All rendezvous in the Relic Expedition are dig sites. You cannot scan for these, but they are generally pretty close to the markers, and I'll give you a rough idea where they are. So this first one is just west of the marker, it's very close. Land at the dig site and talk to the marked NPC and work through the dialogue to complete it. Once the dig 1 has pinged, there is also a bone at each one of these sites, so dig that up. And there are 4 wheelbarrows. Interact with all 4 wheelbarrows, or at least until you find softened marrow. Only one of them will drop this, the others will drop dirt and rusted metal. You can delete the dirt and rusted metal from your inventory once you have the softened marrow. Lastly, while at the dig site, you'll also want to complete a junior field agent. This milestone requires you to have gathered a full skeleton of bones. This is why we left the rendezvous until last, giving many opportunities to gather bones before arriving. With the required bones in hand, simply walk around the dig site until it triggers the milestone. This milestone cannot be completed elsewhere. If you don't have the bones now, you'll need to get them, then come back. Don't worry, it'll mark it if you focus a milestone. With the archaeologist at least halfway complete, Do Not Disturb and Stone Ghosts complete, Exhibition Admission complete, and the Dig 1 and Junior Field Agent complete, you've finished your activities on Rendezvous 1, can go into space, open the galactic map, and warp to the Rendezvous 2 system. Upon arriving into the Rendezvous 2 system, enter the space station. It's time to sort your inventory. You're going to need this list of bone types on screen later. All others can be sold to the Galactic Trade Terminal for units. It doesn't matter what type of skull, ribcage, etc. they are, just that they are a skull or ribcage. It will say, for the ribcage it actually says torso on the tooltip, but it will say skull, torso, limb or tail in their tooltips. While at the Galactic Trade Terminal also sell the Vigilant Stones and the treasure from Exhibition Admission. Now go to the Starship Technology vendor and buy the S-Class Hyperdrive upgrade. If you don't have the knowledge to buy this, you can claim Rockhound, Do Not Disturb, Exhibition Admission or Junior Field Agent to sell one or more of the procedural or prepackaged technologies to get your nanites. Now install the S-Class hyperdrive upgrade. Focus the Dig 2. Leave the station and pulse to the marker. The dig site at this time is a little southwest of the marker. Land at the dig site, then talk to the marked NPC. After that, dig up the bone and check the wheelbarrows until you have another softened marrow food item. You only need 2 of these marrow food items, so once you have them you don't need to check the wheelbarrows at the remaining dig sites. Also delete any dirt or rusty metal you picked up again. Walk around the dig site to trigger Associate Field Agent. With the Dig 2 and Associate Field Agent completed, leave the planet and warp to the Rendezvous 3 system, Olinghan. Upon entering the Olinghan system, focus the Dig 3 and pulse to the marker. This dig site is a little south of the marker, just south of the monolith that should come right into view as you approach. Land at the dig site and talk to the marked NPC. Dig up the bone and then walk around the site to trigger Senior Field Agent. Now claim the rewards from the Dig 1, the Dig 2 and the Dig 3. Now build the avian fossil display, the biped fossil display and the quadruped fossil display. Interact with each display, filling the bone slots and completing a full skeleton for each one. Be sure to only do each one once. You can pick up and even destroy the empty display once done to ensure no repeats and free up space, but ensure that you keep the completed fossil display. This will be worth 500,000 or more units. Doing all 3 of those will complete Ancient Avian, Bygone Biped and Former Forelegs. To the west of the dig site there is a memory stone. This is visible through the analysis visor from the dig site. Go to it and interact with the memory stone. From that memory stone you can see a fossil bed to the west. There is also one to the south, but ignore that one. Mark the western fossil bed and fly to that. At the fossil bed, dig up the bones and then look 400 U or so further west and you'll see another memory stone. Head to it and grab that, as well as a third memory stone just by it. This will complete Written in Stone. Scan any flora around you. This should complete Reverse Paleobotany. Now fly into space and warp to the Rendezvous 4 system. Upon entering Uelinf-Icop, focus the Dig 4 and pulse to the marker. This one is a little trickier to see on approach. It is on a hill 400 U southish of the marker. It's just a pain to see. Land at the dig site and talk to the marked NPC. Now dig up the bone and walk around to complete Principal Field Agent. After completing the Dig 4 and Principal Field Agent, the Rendezvous 4 planet itself is also not a horrible place to get ancient bones. And so get any remaining bones you need here to complete the Archaeologist. If you get to 54 out of 55 bones in the Archaeologist, there's no need to find another fossil bed just to get one more, because you'll get one more at the final dig site. Fly into space and warp to the Rendezvous 5 system, Humbus-Beul III. On entering the system, focus the Dig 5 and pulse to the marker. This one is about 500 U west of the marker. Land at the dig site and talk to the marked NPC. Now dig up the bone and walk around to complete Master of Bones. Now claim the Dig 4 and the Dig 5 for its rewards. Build the Reptilian fossil display and the Protoform fossil display. Make a complete fossil display with both the Reptilian and Protoform display units, completing Reassembled Reptile and Fixed Forerunner. If Deeper Underground hasn't triggered, set your Terrain Manipulator max size and carve the terrain until it does. You may wish to focus Deeper Underground, just to keep an eye on this. If you're right by the Rendezvous dig site when you do this, if multiplayer is on, then either turn it off or go away from the thing, just to be nice to everyone around you. With Deeper Underground complete, jump into your ship, enter space, then summon and enter the Space Anomaly. Head up the right side toward Kronos. Use the grill by Kronos to process the 2 softened marrow into bone broth. This is both softened marrow in separate inputs, just to be clear. This will complete Hearty Stock. Now talk to Kronos and serve him any bone you have that shows up on his list. This will complete Bone Appetit. Now head to the teleporter in the anomaly and teleport to any space station in your list, just provided it's not a pirate or abandoned. Once at this station, go to the fossil dealer in the back. He's opposite the black market vendor found on the guild envoy side but lower level. Trade a bone or 2 for one of his bones. This will complete an arm for a leg. Finally, sell the extra bones and complete the displays you have for units. If you wish to keep any of these, sell them last and only if you need to for completing rags and bones. This milestone requires you to sell 2.5 million units worth of bones, which the 5 completed displays will more than complete on their own. With Rags and Bones complete, congrats, you've completed the Relic Expedition Redux and probably pretty damn quickly. If you did this on an existing save, starting it through the terminal on the anomaly, remember you can bring whatever you want back to the main save, bar purple system specific items like lithium and quartzite. To do this, you just have to claim all of the rewards from the milestones and phases, including the big final reward. After that, a pop-up will show on the screen saying you completed the expedition. This pop-up will show every time you load in to that expedition subsave. This unlocks the terminal on the anomaly to put your items and tech in on the expedition side, to then take out on the primary save side. Also remember that technologies left in your expedition subsave inventory will not be auto-converted to nanites, so sell them manually to a station vendor or take them back with you. For some tips to maximise rewards even after completing the milestones in an expedition, watch this guide up top next. Peace.